Now, as you can see, Ruben has nothing he wants to play in his own turn, except for one single entrancing melody. Everything else you want to play on your opponent's turn. Everything has flash, allowing you to play it in your opponent's turn. So the game plan here is quite simple for Ruben's side. You just want to keep up the mana for counterspells like Syncopate, Quench, Essence Scatter. Your opponent plays nothing, fine, you flash in a threat. If you get to flash in a Brineborn Cutthroat, you get to have all your next counterspells just grow your threat. So that's going to be very, very interesting. Summerby Ruben Naudts is the current Gentry Open champion. He won the last Gentry Open. So yeah. Now, if we can go on to the Sultai deck list, you'll see that it is a rather traditional Muldrotha shell. You have your Dusk Legion Zealots, you have the Explorer package in Wildgrowth Walker, Tishana's Wayfinder, and some Ixalis Diviners to gain you some life, cycle through your cards, get the better cards out, and then just some value enter the battlefield abilities in Plague Crafter, Sky Scanner, Ravenous Chupacabra, a single Find Broker, all things that are very good when they come back from the graveyard, which almost all of his rares are trying to do, except for the Ugin. So that is very strong there. But in my experience, this type of deck has a big issue against Blue-Green Flash because of those counterspells. You cannot really interact with them. As you can see in the list here, there is no interaction for them. So you have to play into a counterspell or just let him develop his board. Amaury has in the main deck no instant speed interaction, so it's going to be very, very interesting to see how this plays out.
Alright, that means we are ready to go. Let's let our players know that they can fire away. And if you want to munch a little bit, just lean away from the camera.
I will do so.
We are being fed by the delicious garden of the Happy Valkyrie. It's pretty awesome.
It is delicious.
Okay, we are on the way. Opening turns, pretty quiet. Evolving Wilds.
Yeah, as is to be expected. Ruben, although he does play 1-drops, still chooses to play a good number of tap lands because the mana base is definitely tricky for this deck, especially when you want to cast that Frilled Mystic to counter spells.
Yeah, I saw that he's also playing the Wolf, the Flash Wolf as a rare.
Yeah,
which is a really big strain on his mana.
It's absolutely big strain on the mana, but so very strong. And yes, some deck lists will get posted after the event. We'll just post the...
Yeah, I'll make an article
visuals, yeah.
with
article with the deck lists. The visuals will probably be posted on the Facebook page after the last quarterfinal is over, with the exact lists. Yes, the savior of the universe, Ruben Naudts. Flash!
Flash! Ah!
There's the Wildgrowth Walker. Let's see, does Ruben have a Quench, a Syncopate, or an Essence Scatter to deal with it? No, it resolves. Then he does have the Brineborn Cutthroat to start his own plan. Okay, Thornwood Falls send him up to 21. Does not want to attack with a Cutthroat into a 1/3 Wildgrowth Walker on his own turn for sure.
Question from the chat. Do players know decklists or even matchups before they sit down?
Not in the quarterfinals.
No. The bracket was shown, so they know who to play against, but they didn't know what the decks were. So all the quarterfinals are being played blind.
Slacker Nicol Bolas is actually present at the event today. Pepin is playing a Nicol Bolas the Ravager. We haven't yet seen it in action, but it is in his deck list and he is in the semifinals, so you could get your chance to see the Bolas do its thing. There's a deadweight on the Brineborn Cutthroat, but I cannot imagine that will end up actually killing it. First off, Ruben is opting, which will turn the Brineborn Cutthroat.
I hate opt. All the Thopters come out if you search for opt.
Get the Brineborn Cutthroat because its ability is relevant now. So Brineborn Cutthroat, as long as you play a spell in your opponent's turn, it gets a counter. And there we go, double opt for Ruben, turning his Brineborn Cutthroat into a 4/3, meaning that Deadweight will not be able to kill it. It will keep it small though. It'll turn it back into a 2/1 once it resolves.
I don't think that Amaury is too unhappy by how this unraveled.
I mean, it's the best you could hope for. That, well, no, the best you could hope for is that it actually dies, but that's not realistic. I think it's the best you could hope for that the Cutthroat just actually receives the -2/-2 rather than it getting quenched, spell pierced, dive downed, whatever Ruben
What's
could
the
have
name
interaction.
of the 03?
Ixali's Diviner. Ixalli. LL. I tried.
I thought it was Tigali.
Oh, no. Ixali's Diviner. So that's explored a Skyscanner into the grave, turning it into a 1/4 and the Wildgrowth Elemental into a 2/4 and gaining him 3 life. This is the line where I see the Muldrotha deck winning. The Explore package gaining enough life and making enough beefy blockers to at least hold off Ruben's threats.
Yeah, or raise them.
And raise them once they get big enough. That is what I think the Muldrotha deck definitely game 1 needs to do because of its lack of disruption.
Yeah,
of the
it
flash
has
plan.
to show its beef. And for that purpose, the Explore version is a lot scarier than the
Elementals version.
Yeah, there's also a just creatures version, the one that I play.
Yeah.
I can't put a clock. The Elementals version can put a bit of a clock, but
Fine mare.
Yeah, but nothing like a good curving of Explore beats.
Yeah, very true.
It's rough.
Slacker, there was actually a 5-color Field of the Dead deck that is mainly green.
Yep.
Piloted by our favorite pro Pascal Viren. But sadly, it lost to Tom de Waal's Blue-White Mill. There is a Siren Lookout for Amaury. Siren Lookout, another Explore creature, but Frilled Mystic, the absurd value play here. Getting his Brineborn Cutthroat to a 3/2, adding another 3/2 to the board, and keeping that Explorer off the board. This might be how Ruben swings the match.
He's on 6 power in the race now.
Yep.
So 4-turn clock, assuming no Explorers happen.
Yeah. Versus a 4-turn clock on the other side as well, with life gain. He's still not leading, but this is how he fights back.
No mono
Plus,
green surprise Bolas deck.
No, the only person who is devoted enough to the Dragon God to try such a maddening endeavor is indeed Bouillon. Now, an important thing that we need to realize is that Ruben does play 3 Merfolk Trickster, which removes all abilities. Which crucially can stop the Wildgrowth Walker from getting bigger and gaining life for a turn at a crucial point in the race. And also take care of a blocker or an attacker. There's a lot of interplay with that card.
True.
Devotion to Bolas isn't green though. Yep.
Chat has you.
Chat's got me there.
Okay, and we have reached the phase of the game I would like to call Facey Punchy, see who dies. Not much else is happening.
Do note that Amaury has not drawn a land for the last 4-ish turns.
Yeah.
There is the Nightpack Alpha.
Yeah, the reason...
Wolfpack Alpha? Maybe? No. Nightpack Howler, maybe. Oh, Howlpack Alpha is a card, but it's not what we're looking for. Nightpack Howler. Nope. Fuck. Just do Pack Howler, maybe.
Oh no, we're so very professional stream, everybody.
I know exactly what the card does. Just do Howler. And there's another Brineborn Cutthroat coming in. Wow. Ruben's board state is getting absurd here. You're not going to tell me it's not a Howler. Wow,
It's not a Howler.
And it must be an Alpha.
Chat, help! Sander's embarrassing himself. in my stead.
It's a pupper. Yeah, that's not gonna help. Some combination of Nightpack, Howler, and Alpha, something like that. It's not even an Alpha. What is that card?
Wolf.
On Scryf, open its second tab with Scryfall. There you can find it.
No.
Anyway, it's a 4/4 flash. No, it's a 3/3 flash for 2 green that at the beginning of your end step, if you haven't cast spells, makes it 2/2 wolf.
Night Howler.
And it gives you wolf +1/+1. So Ruben now has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 13. Ruben has 16 damage on the board. Oh, Nightpack Ambusher. Thank you, Alan. Ambusher, of course.
I love all the other names that have already come.
Okay, and the Tishana's Wayfinder was quenched. Amaury's mana troubles really costing him the game here. And he does scoop them up. So there we have it. Blue-green Flash taking it in game 1. In the meantime, I think y'all broke Niels, so...
Yeah, that was too funny. Okay, let's have a look at the sideboard.
Salt by sideboard first, because I was actually able to study that yesterday. I'm really missing fungal infections here. Fungal infection would really swing the early games and the early turn interactions. As it stands, I think you want to get definitely the Obnixilis' Cruelties in to be able to fight somewhere there. Maybe the Time Twist to simply reset a Cutthroat, but that seems a bit janky. And probably some number of Duresses to make your spells resolve. So what I would probably go for is something like cut to Gaia's Ghost Form, cut to Deadweight, cut to Plaguecrafter, add 4 Duress to Obnixilis' Cruelty.
I'm not a big fan of Surge Spanner.
No, Skyscanner.
Skyscanner.
No, true, you could cut Skyscanner instead of Plaguecrafter. The reason I'd go for Plaguecrafter is because he's very likely to have something to sacrifice. And your turn 3 Plaguecrafter on the play doesn't hit anything. Because he hasn't played anything yet. So
True.
It's just really awkward to have the Plaguecrafter. Yes, exactly. Skyscanner is a good boy.
Taiwu, you don't see me. I am the invisible man.
Right, let's go to Blue-Green Flash and have a look at what Ruben is working with in the sideboard. This is new to me as well, so let's see. So, 2
The
Spell
standard
Pierce.
blue package.
Yeah, 2 Spell Pierce, 2 Disdainful Stroke, 2 Fairy Duelist, 2 Deep Freeze, 4 Negate, 2 Return to Nature. 1, 2, 3, 4, 14. Where's card number 15?
Did it fall off?
It would seem to have fallen off, yes. 3rd Return to Nature. Okay, so let's see, what do you want to cut here, really? He could shave down on the unsummons, since he doesn't want to unsummon the opponent's creatures, just his own, for 2 Disdainful Stroke, 1 Spell Pierce,
Yeah.
or Deep Freeze, maybe. Seibu wants to get your pretty face in camera.
Sorry. Say what?
Skyscanner is pretty slow for this matchup, though. Yes, absolutely, it is a slow card, but I don't really think you can. You want a Skyscanner for. What am I saying?
Muldrotha artifact.
Yeah, exactly. You want to go ham with Muldrotha because the situations where you will be able to race Blue-Green Flash will be few and far in between. You will need to stabilize and outvalue them in the late game because, make no mistake, they can have a lot of value, especially with the Entrancing Melody that can steal your Muldrotha, which would be huge.
Huge. You know it. I know it. Everybody knows it. We've got friends in China and they know it. It's gonna be huge. In the meantime, I'm enjoying some delicious food. Again, made by the Happy Valkyr. Greatest person living in this house for sure.
I was gonna say, living is a fair thing. But present today, I don't know. I mean, after all, we do have a Platinum Pro.
Meh. Once he makes me food, I'll consider him.
Sorry.
Pasta?
It's not pasta.
It's brown rice with homegrown beans, homegrown tomatoes,
Homegrown frog peas.
garlic. I think only the rice and the onions are bought for now.
Are you gonna grow your own rice?
Probably not, but onions maybe.
Onions is cool.
Ooh, brown rice with beans, tomatoes, and stuff. Yes, that's exactly what it is.
And
in the meantime,
well, all this can be yours, the delicious food, if you just make it onto the next invitational.
it's that easy, folks.
No, frog peas is not the correct word. It was a joke. It was definitely intentionally, literally translating that. Because I don't know.
Chickpeas, yeah.
Chickpeas, that's it, yeah.
Pieces of frog.
Frog peas, eh?
Frog peas.
Alright, so Amaury on the play. Hopefully his mana situation turns out better in this game than in the last one.
Dodde. Piece of the chick, not piece of the frog.
5-color surprise is no longer legal in Gentry. It's true, Boyan, but I've got a list that you would really enjoy. I'll show it to you next time I see you.
And get ready for the Gentry Open.
Yeah.
September 22nd. It's gonna be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
As usual, because it's a Gentry Open. Facebook me baby. What?
I'll send it to you later, Boyan.
So, are we good to go?
It would seem like it. Ruben kept 7, Amaury went down to 6.
Okay.
And opens with a Dismal Backwater. I remember the beautiful days when I played Dismal Backwater into Swamp, into Bile Blight my opponent's 3-1 drops.
Into?
Bile Blight my opponent's 3-1 drops. Back in the Theros ATK days when you had Ugin the Spirit Dragon. Ah, those were the days. Anyway, here is Wild Growth Walker. What, the people playing Magic instead of WoW Classic? Yes, because we enjoy a game that doesn't take hours to finish.
Yeah. We do other countries as well, besides Finland.
What? Oh, my mother! I want to die. Alright, swinging with the Wild Growth Walker.
First blood for
Ruben
Amaury.
just takes it, goes down to 19.
Don't get to finish Finland. You get to finish.
Your aggro players sigh. Not quite. There's a Duskly Gisela for Amaury, taking himself down to 20 and drawing a card. Now I have to assume Ruben will flash in a Cutthroat or a Spectral Sailor on end step. Yes, there's a Cutthroat again. So looking very similar to the board state after turn 3 last game as well. Another land for Ruben and most likely pass the turn, since the attack is not really that favorable right now. It sounds like someone leaving.
Or arriving. Mutt still needed
Mutt needed to arrive here. Yeah, it's Mutt because I hear hellos. Okay, so we have the last player for the last round.
Yeah.
Good, because things have moved along pretty quickly at a pretty brisk pace, especially after Elementals just got the short end of a very, very heavy stick.
Butchered.
Yeah.
So, Evolving Wilds to develop further.
Alright, let's see what Amaury can do on his turn 4. This could be crucial.
We have a
tries to deadweight the
deadweight
Brightboard
again.
Cutthroat. It works! Wow, this is rough for Ruben. He must have the Quench up, that doesn't do anything there. Now the Quench will probably stop the Diviner here. I can't imagine you... Wow, he has to let it resolve. Things are not looking great for Ruben. If he had a 4th land and he could go for the Ambusher, that would be something, but this is just looking... Oof.
Oof.
Oomph. Also known as Roblox Death Sound. Wow.
Also known as Hans Steven.
Steven. An attack for 3 by Amaury sends Ruben down to 16. And Ruben, he does have the other Cutthroat though. At least he's got something to still develop his board, but again, Amaury doing what he needs to do to win this matchup in developing.
But that's what he did last time as well, and it turned out to be not enough. So
That's true.
let's not count out Ruben.
It wasn't enough because he just got stuck on 4 lands.
True.
You know as well as anyone does, Muldrotha decks do not want to get stuck on 4 lands, especially when you're doing so much exploring. You should be able to find those lands. Amaury forgot his life gain from the Explorer. Yes, but he did put a counter on it, so it's...
Yep,
well,
let's go fix it.
I'm sure Anouk might have seen it, but I'll go and fix it.
Alright, in the meantime, judge, yep, we have a judge on the way to rectify that situation. As Amaury goes into the tank, considering options, paths, even though the Brineborn Cutthroat is only a 2-1 right now, it can grow into pretty sizable proportions based off those 4 lands that are untapped. And we're gonna start things off with a journey. I forgot the name of the journey to eternity.
Apologies, I'm back. What has happened here? A frilled mystic took care of Journey to Eternity. Wow. That's a big swing in Ruben's favor there.
Yep.
And is this Amaury's turn 5 without a 5th land?
Yep.
Well, he might still play it post-combat, but... No, that would be wrong if it's untapped. He did do that. He opened himself up to Quench there. Very, very risky. Okay, so... Amaury has a 1/4 blocker, which right now at least is still very good at keeping the Brineborn Cutthroat and the Frilled Mystic at bay.
No, not really at bay. They'll just
Yeah,
together with the Zealot,
yeah,
they
and
trade for something.
exactly.
But you don't. You can't block the Cutthroat.
No, yeah, you can. It's Ruben's turn.
Oh
Cutthroat
yeah,
only
that's
triggers in the
grow.
opponent's turn. Yeah.
True.
You want to block the Cutthroat. You never want to be blocked by a Cutthroat.
Yeah.
So an attack with the Wild Walker again. Flashes in a second Cutthroat. If you can follow this up with a Merfolk Trickster to tap down the Excellius Diviner, that could be powerful. But he decides, no, does he want to block? It's a 1/4, he has a 4/3. He blocks, opening him up to deadweight, which he should be able to play around with so many cards in hand. And oh, it's end step, Whisper Agent gets into play, and suddenly things are looking very rough for Amaury. He has made his mana though, so he could make the way back. Ooh, but Ruben just drew the Entrancing Melody.
I think he had it in hand for a while already.
I definitely thought I just saw it come off the top of his deck. But maybe I missed. But there it is. Entrancing Melody, gaining control of the Excellius Diviner to get that out of the way.
Is he paying 4 for a 1-drop? Or is it a...
That's a 2-drop. It's a 2-drop, yeah. That would be an absurd 1-drop. Well, not equally absurd as Arboreal Grazer, honestly, so yeah. Well, Ixalan was a lot less high power than War of the Spark, though, so...
Well,
what's yours is mine.
Explorers draws you a card.
Yeah. True. Grazer has a reach. Anyway, Ruben swinging across for 9 damage here and taking out Amaury's only creature.
Remember last turn when he had 5 power on the board?
Yeah. I mean, that's what Blue Green Flash does, and honestly, I feel like this is Amaury getting punished for not having enough interaction to actually deal with these threats. One Tishana's Wayfinder as a 3/3 blocker. It's a roadblock, but that's about it. And it looks like Amaury this time might be flooding out on mana.
Yeah.
Wow.
It almost feels like Amaury's deck is too fair.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the Explore package is very strong but fair. The exact things he's trying to do with Muldrotha are quite fair. I feel like it's a deck that would benefit a lot from having a couple of Neoforms in there.
In the meantime, please be nice in the chat. No stealing each other's bolasses.
Why dump the draw card creature?
Because it's paying for something that you will top deck eventually anyway. So the only thing you do is tapping 2 mana for the same card which leaves you
Yeah.
less mana to play the big card you really need.
Yeah.
Because he's not gonna stabilize by throwing a bunch of 1/1s on the board at this
Yeah,
point.
a single 1/1 was not enough, since this attack would just... Since this attack is putting him down to 4? 3. This attack is putting him down to 3. So now if this draws the Zealot, you just play the Zealot. No,
We see a flop onto the table.
exactly. He would have been dead even if the Zealot was still on top, so...
And that means
That's
that
GG.
Ruben moves on to the semi-finals. That is player number 5.
Yeah. Wow, okay. I'll let you handle the post-match talk with Amaury.
Yup.
You know him the best.
Enjoy
No,
your
it was
break.
not 1-1. I will take a quick break indeed. Do not touch the food. Unless you want an egg. I don't want egg.
Free eggs! Okay, so we'll be going to our last match between Naudts and Yellow Lowers. No touchy food. He doesn't want the egg. Ow. That was one very, very tasty egg. Let's put the microphone back where it belongs. ASMR stream, yes. Draw the cards. You can draw the cards. You top deck to win the cards. Let's not do that. No ASMR. I know some people are disgusted by it. So let's respect those that are. Shall we? You like my big resplendent angel? So do I. Make sure I always have an angel in my bed. She fell and broke, and I fixed it. We have an Amaury.
Hi there.
Amaury, have a seat.
Thank you.
Camera's right over there.
Hi everyone.
So, for those of you that don't know Amaury, he's one of pretty much the most prolific players in Bredene. Tom de Waal, that we saw earlier, is also very active there. And he's really one of the cornerstones of the Bredene community. So
Thank you.
It's great to have you. I think it's the first time
Yeah, it's my first time here.
you're actually at the Invitational, which is...
Yeah, I was invited last time, but I couldn't make it.
Yeah. He also does Viking runs, as shown by the t-shirt. He did one yesterday and he's here now. Crazy guy. But let's not talk about you too much. Let's talk about the deck. You're playing Muldrotha Explore version.
Yes.
Do you still like your version after this match?
Well, I mainly like my version because previous season, I mean, beginning of the season, I was trying out different decks, and I scored really badly. And I made like one hell of a comeback halfway the season, starting using this Muldrotha deck again. So yes, I'm still confident in the deck, but either it comes like I want or it doesn't come at all. And like you saw today, I had Mulligan first match, Mulligan second one, drawing all lands.
Yeah, we saw you getting stuck on mana in the first game. We saw you flooding out a bit in the second game.
Yeah, and it was a shame.
Well, especially considering all the Explorer that you play.
It's not a lot. It's not a lot. It's like a real small explore package. I play 4 walkers and I have, I think, around 8 explore creatures that support that.
So you have the Diviners, the Wayfinders, and the Sirens.
Yeah, 2 Sirens, 2 Diviners, and 3 Wayfinders.
Yeah. All right. It looked like a lot more in these matches.
I was consistent in drawing those. I wasn't consistent in drawing the rest of my deck that I needed.
Yeah. I guess Ravenous Chupacabras would have been.
Or even a Playcrafter.
Yep. True. Is there something about the deck as you played it that you would want to change after this match, or what you've seen in the Invitational?
If I had more time to test and construct the deck, I think I would have kept the same build basically, but I would have made a lot of changes in my uncommons to be able to play an elemental package with it.
Yeah, that's one of the other versions.
Yeah, because I remember you asked me when I submitted my deck list, like, are you playing elementals? I was like, elementals? What's he asking about? So I was looking through the deck and then I saw the Wildgrove Walker actually is an elemental, and I mean, playing Risen Reef would have been awesome in this deck, but I don't know, first off, I didn't have the cards, and second off, I didn't have time to test it, so that's why I didn't do it.
Yeah, well, Sander has a version with Neoforms and Risen Reefs that is very spicy to play, so maybe we'll get a deck tag about it, because most of it is just going to transit straight into post-rotation, where your deck is just gone after rotation.
Yeah, my deck is dead, I know it.
Yeah. Okay, Amaury, thank you very much. Enjoy your time here.
Yeah, well, sure. I will.
Join the rest downstairs.
Thank you for the invite.
You're welcome. Fun.